Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Lexi, and today's video is going to be, I don't even know what to call it at the moment, but we're gonna be talking about some things that which brought to my attention via good old Instagram. We're talking about big box, white-owned businesses, white-owned brands coming in and hijacking the natural hair community. And I feel like I'm going to have a little bit of a different perspective on this, a little bit of a regular person perspective. I'm Black first. I love and support my Black owned businesses, and if you're not new here, you already know that, but I want to give y'all some, like, you know, the facts of the situation, the harsh realities of it, and then get into like my point of view as someone that's a blogger that has worked with both Black and white owned businesses, and just like the struggle, because like I feel like nowadays everything is political, and I support it and I understand it and I get why, because everything really is political, but it can be hard doing most things and maneuvering about without running into a political problem. So I want to kind of talk about it on here, get y'all opinion, give y'all my opinion, and kind of like bring y'all some info that you may or may not have known, because I learned some new things tonight, honey, and I want to share it with y'all. I saw Love Light Liz on Instagram posted this picture, and I was like, hit me hard, because I have reviewed a couple of those brands. I also have worked with one of those brands on that list. So it's like, damn, how do I feel about this? Because it does make a lot of freaking sense, you know? Then Juanita of KandidKinks and KURLS sent me over to Bask and Bloom's Instagram stories, and she posted a series of stories. I will just leave some pictures and some information, I guess more so down below if I can find it, because it's gonna be on a live video. I probably will miss it by the time this video goes up. So basically, it put me in a different mindset, and I have some things to say, because obviously I'm on both sides. I support Black owned as much as I can, and I also do spend my money on white businesses. And I think that it's important to not come with a sense of judgment or a sense of talking down to somebody. I think it's important to be transparent. So for me, I'm being transparent. Y'all already know what I do and know how I move. So yeah. For example, like, I don't think that being judgmental gets anybody anywhere. I think bringing information, bringing news is the best way to get anyone to receive anything new, right? So like, I'm a vegan. Y'all will never hear me trying to convince anyone to be a vegan, trying to promote or push my lifestyle negatively onto anyone, because it doesn't work like that. Nobody wants that. I mind my business, okay? So I choose to not eat meat. I don't give a damn if you do or don't eat meat. It's my business, okay? Like, I'm not on this earth to push you and berate you to do anything you don't want to do, you know? Ask questions, I answer, right? So I think I have a more so fair understanding of the topic, but I'm also not a business owner. So let's just get into that. The topic is, like, you know, natural hair is now mainstream, right? Like, we can say that now. Natural hair has reached a point where it's mainstream. At first, like, you know, 10 years ago, cutting your hair off was absurd. What are you doing? Big chop what? You look crazy like a boy. Your hair is nappy. Da, 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 da. Now, being natural is mainstream as hell. It'll be on billboards. It'll be in Walmart on the damn poster. It'll be on runways. You know, 4C hair isn't mainstream, but natural hair has become hella mainstream. So now the white businesses want to get their coin, because we already know Black women, if you don't know, spend the most money on cosmetics, aka beauty and hair care. We spend the most money. We know why, but we do, okay? So with that being said, all of our lives we've been buying relaxers, white owned brands. We've been buying pink lotion, the jams, all the things you used to buy in your local stores growing up were most of the time most of the time they were white owned businesses, okay? Whether you bought perms or braiding stuff, or like, you know, the creams, the gels, the whatever you used to buy from your stores, they're usually white-owned businesses. By the big brands, they own these smaller brands, you know? So we would spend our money with them, I don't know, however long, forever, right? Then natural hair became a thing. The movement began, and it wasn't really affecting them. They still had tons of customers, and they still do have tons of women that go and buy relaxers and all of the products that go with having relaxed hair, you know? But now, like, we out here in droves buying natural hair products. So they want their coin, they want their money back, they want their customers back. So as business goes, they're now creating lines to cater to natural hair. Some of y'all are like, no, I don't like that. I want to support who supported me from the jump. Some of y'all are like, yes, it's affordable, I will take it, sign me up. I don't blame either of y'all, but I wanted to bring y'all some information that I found out today, and to bring y'all a different perspective, or a new perspective. So let's bring it back. Business is business, and business is dirty most of the time. I'm not saying it's okay, I'm not saying it's right, but we see it happen in almost in every business scenario, especially when it comes to the creative industry, like fashion. Hello Fashion Nova, hello Forever 21, hello Pretty Little Thing, hello Boohoo, okay? Those brands steal on a regular basis black designs, people of color designs, small white designs, whoever makes it and it's hot, they will remake it for cheaper because they can, right? Like, that's the whole business of fast fashion. It happens on a regular basis. It's really, really effed up. I'm not saying it's okay by any means, but it happens all of the time. We see it when it comes to our skincare. Brands are now making shea butter lotion and all kind of things that there may be before because we wanted it. It's what happens. We spent our money on Shea Moisture's stuff, so now the white big box brands are now making shea butter, black soap, all kinds of foolery because they know that we're gonna buy because it's cheaper. So, but remember, I always tell you guys, cheaper always means lesser quality. So if you don't care about quality products, you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna go buy the affordable stuff. So there's that. It happens in every industry. Now natural hair is mainstream, so it's happening in our industry. There was a post about KURLS by Nature. They are a black-owned natural hair business, and Cream of Nature essentially stole the idea of their product line. I'll put the picture on the screen. So you have the clay and I believe it's peppermint, I don't remember, but you can see it on the screen. Mixture that they had, and now the new line, Cream of Nature, which is not black owned, and it's a more bigger, cheaper brand that can mass produce, can afford to pay influencers like myself, can afford to do all kinds of marketing to get their product in your face, in your hands, has taken the idea from a smaller black owned business. That's not right. It's not right by any freaking means. Seeing it from that perspective, it's like, damn, nothing, like, you can't even support a cheaper brand without having the guilt of them ripping off a smaller black owned business, which is what's happening all over the place in every industry. I had a convo with my sister about working with a big box brand, okay, a white brand, that I was kind of like debating whether or not I wanted to take the deal. And it got to a point where it's like everything that we do, buying from Forever 21, buying from Fashion Nova, or whatever you choose to shop, going to Walmart, you know, someone somewhere around the world, whether it's the world itself, the earth itself, or people themselves, are being harmed by your purchases. Whether that be our cell phones, the stuff in our phones, people mine for them and they die, they lose limbs. People are in sweatshops and making the clothing that we buy from cheap brands. You know, it's like everything we do has a marker, right? Like a footprint. So it comes to a point where we have to realize, like, your hands are usually not clean unless you're really living out in the wilderness in a freaking trailer with your own well and your own generator, and just like, you know, that's kind of like something that really leaves no footprint on the earth or on people themselves. So it's like, that's where my mind's at. I was like, you know what? I have to make sure that for the health and wealth of myself and my brand, that I don't, you know, become super rigid and selective with every little move that I make, while still maintaining my integrity. I would never promote a brand that's trash, or, I mean, if I like it, I like it, if I don't. You know what I mean? I still keep that integrity with y'all, but it's the idea that every move is not going to be the right move for every single person. So now I want to get into price point, because people always get mad when you mention that you can't afford to spend your money on a more expensive natural brand that may or may not be black owned. People tend to feel like, oh, you can. And I, from personal experience, know that you cannot always afford to spend your money on the black owned brands. If you can afford it, you should always make your efforts to put your money in your community's pocket, always. But also knowing that everyone everywhere cannot afford to do so, and that's also okay. That's their situation. So for myself, when I was 18 and I went natural, all that we had in the stores were Miss Jessie's. Could not by any stretch afford anything from that brand at that time in my life. And no one in my life could afford to buy me a $30 hair butter for, you know, for what? So then we also had Carol's Daughter, and we also had Shea Moisture. So I would buy Shea Moisture because it was the cheapest one out of the three, and even that was a splurge, because I come from, you know, getting your pink lotions for a couple bucks from the corner store, from getting your Tresemme and your swabs and things that you, and Head and Shoulders for a couple of dollars, and going about your business, washing your hair, You know, I didn't never spent money on my hair until I went natural. I got a perm at my mama's house by my mother every 3 months. The perm box cost $6, and that's it. Like, you know, it wasn't a heavy expense, and it never was. So people don't realize that everybody can afford to spend 20 bucks on a hair product. I'm here in this job to give y'all the options of high price, low price, high end, low end, high quality, low quality. You know what I mean? But we have to be privy to what's really happening, right? So there are big box brands literally taking the formulas, the ideas, the packaging from small black owned brands because it works, because we're out here supporting them. And a topic that I actually came new to, that I realized tonight after watching Bask and Bloom's Instagram stories, is that it's really, really hard for these black owned brands to get into Target and Walmart. It costs them a lot of money, and then if we don't go out and buy it from Target and Walmart, they can't stay in Target and Walmart. They can't afford to stay there because they can't afford to upkeep the cost it takes to be put into a Target or a Walmart. That moment I was like, okay, that's crazy. So you have a brand come out with the same type of ingredient, the same type of marketing scheme, like charcoal and peppermint or whatever the case is, and we go and we buy that brand. The small brand loses out. And that happens in every business. When Walmart comes to your neighborhood, all the other stores around it gonna close down most likely. You know, when CVS comes and closes down the mom and pop pharmacy, it happens all the time. But now that black hair is now mainstream, we're seeing it on a different light, and we feel more closer and more affected by it. So my point is here, like, do what you can. If you can support your black owned local and online and in Target and Walmart, do so. But also, if you simply can't afford to spend that money, I don't want you guys to feel guilty. I don't want to impart guilt onto y'all because y'all can't afford to buy the more pricier brands. We have to realize that everything isn't for everyone. We have to also know that when we spend our money with the white brands, they're really pushing out our Black-owned brand. If you don't want to see your favorite hair care brand go out of business, you have to support them because they will eventually be effed over in the end. That's how business works. Recently, we saw that Shea Moisture creator, he put $1 million into the Natural All Club brand, a Black-owned brand. That was an amazing thing for the community because we saw the effects that we have as consumers and that we have as bloggers, that we can actually uplift and support and help a brand really rise to the top. So if we can do that for all of our Black-owned brands, we should. If you can afford to spend your money on Black-owned brands in beauty, in hair, in fashion, then do so. Because we see it happen now. They're pushing us out of everything now that we're mainstream. And do you want to support a brand that is only here because they see that they're losing money on one end? Now that we're not buying perms anymore, they want to market to us. Do you want to support that? Ask yourself that before you make your decisions. You know, I think that I'm in a tough spot as someone that really tries to give y'all content that y'all want to see, and I try to give y'all the information that y'all want to have. So I felt like it was important to not stay quiet and act like I didn't know what was happening, because I may or may not be a hypocrite right now. I may or may not be in a weird spot right now, but I wanted to still come on here and give y'all information, give y'all the links, give y'all the knowledge in case you cared. You know, tell me how you feel about it. Do you ask yourself questions when you see Criminal Nature and As I Am and Palmer's? Do you feel like they're taking from your local Black-owned or your far-away Black-owned brands? Do you feel like they're removing the integrity from the industry? Because at the end of the day, we were kind of built on Black women building up other Black women. We were supporting people that look like us, making stuff for us. Do you feel as if now it's being shifted to cheaper, affordable, pretty pictures on Instagram and less for the quality of the products? Because I want to know what y'all think. I think it's really important to discuss it without condemning, because listen, all of our hands are dirty in some way, shape, or form. But if you want our community to flourish, these are important convos and topics to really discuss from a place of what can I do to support and help and push our people forward, because it's important. It really, really is important. I have a Black-owned hygiene routine that I planned to film forever ago, and I have all the stuff. I'm just lazy to film in the shower, but I'm gonna get it done for y'all. I'm going to try to do my best to really push Black brands and push the knowledge and the narrative of Black brands, but I'm not gonna condemn you guys that can't afford to spend your money, because I know what it's like. Like, I literally do. And I didn't buy stuff until I could afford to buy stuff that I wanted to try out. So yeah, let me know in the comments your opinion, your thoughts. I really do want to know what you guys think. Yeah. If you're new, subscribe, like the video. Good night.